You know, I started catching up with him really in the 80s in Hawaii. But even before then, that Al was making them for a long time before then. There was another guy called Cole Smith, who's the same age as me. And Cole Smith used to do 6 and 8 channels. And he was one of my best friends.
And around what year was that you were seeing those first channels?
It was the end of the 70s. Yeah, the memories.
Late 70s, early 80s.
Huh?
Late 70s, early 80s.
Late 70s, I think it was, because I saw him come down to Bell's with them, you know, and Cole was an incredible, there was 2 Cole Smiths, there was one from Narrabeen and one from the Central Coast. And Cole Smith's often forgotten, but he was one of the finest goofy foots, one of the most outrageous surfer personalities. A bit of that Australian true blue bluer, he'd fight you, he'd surf you, he was just, you know, that quintessential Aussie mongrel. And so he was the first guy that I really saw with him, you know. And it was only when in Hawaii, I used to catch up with Al. He used to stay with Derek Dorner. And I don't know how many seasons in Hawaii, but, you know, we'd always surf sunset together. I'd always catch up with Derek and him, and they used to live at backyards there. So, you know, I spent a lot of time talking to very good friends about it. And, you know, Al's scene was the deeper they are, the better they are. And
you got to remember Cole too, surfing pipeline. And he was in the Pipe Masters, at least one. I'm not sure if he won it, but that to me is one of the times I remember seeing channel bottom really working. I believe he was on a channel bottom in that event, but I mean nobody could lay it on the rail like he could.
That's true.
Or very few people.
So he was really at the forefront of that, I think. And then Al came along, and I actually got to know Al best during the thruster era, because I actually lived in France at that stage. And Al actually said, the deeper you can make your channels, the best. And sometimes I've been known to do things a little bit extreme. And yeah, so I went and put 1.5 inch channels nearly through to the deck of my board. And there was about 5 glasses, 5 sanders that had nervous breakdowns. Every board fell apart in about 6 weeks, but I've got this. I had one that the channels were that deep. There was bubbles that were sanded through, and it's one of the best tube riding boards I ever had, because in France there was no bump. But you know, Al used to blow me out, because you know, I was learning still the shape, you know, and just testing my own boards. I mean, it was later in 89 that I actually started shaping boards for Tom Curran. I realised I could shape for someone else. It was pretty good actually, being able to shape for a guy like that. But during that whole time, you know, we were so open to new designs on any level. Boards were changing every year, and you could see that on the CT tour. In that every year, if you surfed the board that you surfed the year before, man, my mum could beat you.
They're channel bottom boards, but that was a major exposure for a lot of people to that design. That design scared a lot of people though, like Maurice was talking about, because it's a very difficult, complex board to build. You know, anybody can draw an outline, but to actually build a proper channel bottom, as I was told by Alan Byrne and one of Cole Smith's associates, is you have to start with the bottom first. You know, you want to make sure you've got that V up high, and then the channels work off the bottom. So in order for it to work the way I was told, you had to have that sense of being able to roll the board, or the boards would get too much lift and spin out. Is that something you guys can concur with or argue?
Well, eventually, Al did the concave, didn't he?
Yeah.
Concave into it.
Into the V. Yeah. So.
Yeah. That was triping time, more triping time, I think.
Another part of that too is creating the bottom of the fin. It straightens the outside rail line, so that when the board turns on the rail, it engages right away. There's no hesitation.
No, there's no hesitation on that channel bottom.
And it's amplifying water movement from the bottom of the board
So my experience with the channel bottoms coming over stems from a local shaper, Hank Warner,